my channel Uncut Africa Live, a channel that brings you insights of African politics. I'm always your guy, Digraft Amoakon. And today we are going to discuss about very important topic, and this topic has been addressed on this platform before, but the situation is we have to keep coming back to address this issue because at the end of the day, we are the only one who are trying to push how Africa can be developed without any interference. How Africa can be developed without anyone manipulating our systems. At the end of the day, what is happening in Africa, we have realized a lot of things are happening that are not in our power to how should I put it? It's uncontrollable because at the end of the day, the political systems we are practicing in Africa has been compromised, and whatever our so-called puppet leaders do, it doesn't reflect on the citizens of the continent. Africa is doomed. Africa, with the current leaders we have in Africa, it seems we are going to face a whole lot of trouble, and we are going to go a long way. Africa is going to go a long way to develop because with the current leaders, they are only interested in taking loans from all these Western corporate organizations. They can't do without taking loans from IMF. They can't do without taking loans from World Bank. They only rely on foreign aid to succeed. So today, I will love or I will be happy if we can all share our mind. Today, I'm coming online, I'm coming live just for us to discuss about the way forward of African continent, because with the current leaders, after our independence, a whole lot of things happens. We were able to get a very solid leaders, but what happens was they were able to eliminate them. We had leaders like Kwame Nkrumah, we had leaders like Patrice Lumumba, we have leaders like Thomas Sankara, we have leaders like Sekou Toure, but all of these leaders were eliminated. So our current leaders is not trustworthy. Our current leaders will tell you when they come to power, they are going to do this. When they come to power, they are going to do that. But at the end of the day, they are not doing it. They will come and dance to the tunes of Western powers. They will come and dance to the tunes of all these organizations that push loans on their neck and make sure African countries are being indebted. We are being indebted. I will be anyone who will try to comment. I'll read live on this particular topic. Africa, we just need the way forward of Africa. So the Arsenal perspective, Africa, if it could unify the nations when it comes to trade deals, it will be on a par with China and India. The nation states are affecting all in the continent. A true African Union is needed. Yes, the Arsenal perspective. Yeah, this guy has put on a very good comment that we have been saying it. The way forward is Africa to unite. The way forward is Africa to unite. But because of the selfish, the individual selfishness, it's becoming difficult for the continent to unite. Individuals are happy being in the throne of all these small countries. individuals think if they signed an agreement for Africa to unite, they are not going to make a whole lot of, they are not going to retain their seat as the president that are benefiting from all these resources from from the African mineral resources. So these are problems that Africans are facing. The unity that we are not campaigning for is what is bringing Africa, what is retrogressing Africa. Let me put it in that manner. That is what is retrogressing Africa, because if we should have been united and do business together, if we should have been united and make sure we link all these countries together, we should have been far, far ahead, because we would trade among each other. But currently, we are not trading among each other. So I will ask, please, do you think unity can bring the success story of Africa? Do you think unity can bring the success story of Africa? You can share your view as Mr. The Arsenal perspective. The Arsenal perspective is sharing his thoughts. I'll read it live for us to discuss. So the Arsenal perspective, the only way our leaders will change is if they change what, the only way our leaders will change is if we change what it means to be leaders. The leaders cannot be in position of leadership for selfish gain, but purely in public service. The last time I came live, we discussed about a topic of how our democratic system is being manipulated. We discussed about these things. Our democratic system is being manipulated. Yes, that's it. Because the democratic systems we are practicing, it has been designed in a way that if you don't have money, you cannot contest for presidency. And all these leaders, if before they get all these monies, they are being collaborated with all these Western organizations. They are being collaborated with all these Western organizations, and they are the one who sponsor them to pay for their nomination forms, their political parties nomination forms. And after they have been able to win the political nomination forms, they now pay for their campaigns. So most of this, our leaders normally goes and search and look for money from all these Western organizations, corporation, the Western corporations, and they give them loans to come and run their campaign. And after they have run their campaign and they have won power, they sign contracts with them to take over all these resources. So recently, I remember an Australian company has taken over Ghana Lithium. Recently, an organization has taken over Ghana Lithium. And the funny thing is, Ghana is only taking, I think, 3% out of all the mineral resources. Ghana is taking 3%. Yes, that is what is making Africans suffer. The system we are practicing, I know democratic systems should have been perfect systems if we understand the whole thing. But what we are using it here to do is we have branded the democratic system as a way of looting the people, because they are being funded by the same people who introduced these systems to us. They are being funded by these people who introduced these systems to us, and they will use that opportunity to steal our mineral resources, the abundant mineral resources a lot of African countries has. That has been the problem. That has been the problem. So the Arsenal perspective, we must try unity. We had decades and decades of disunity. We need a change across the whole continent, similar to the Arab Rising, but with no violence and unifying objectives. Yes, That is also a very strong point, which is laudable. The Arsenal perspective. I appreciate your input. I appreciate your input. Anyone who is watching can also share his view on this particular topic. What do you think we can do, or do you think African unity can help us build a better future for this continent? Do you think African unity can build a better future for this continent? It has been discussed for centuries. It is being still discussed. I don't know how it's becoming so difficult for African countries to come together, not come together to let's say we are not trying to make the continent as one country, but let's find a way of trading among ourselves. Let's find a way of learning among ourselves, because the situation I've been talking, the African situation is an interesting one, and it's also funny because a Ghanaian who lives in Ghana don't know anything about someone who lives in Malawi. A Ghanaian don't know anything about someone who lives in Togo. But a Ghanaian knows a whole lot of things about people living in Europe, people living in UK, people living in America. They consume their news, they consume their music, they consume their culture, but we as Africans, we don't know anything among ourselves. If for maybe from next month, I'll be bringing a topic. I'll be bringing a content on this topic. I want to step outside to ask Ghanaians about uh, other African countries, and you are going to see how ignorant we are concerning other African countries. You are going to witness that, because at the end of the day, we have been programmed to make sure we consume things that comes from the Western countries. We have been programmed to consume their musics. We have been programmed to consume their culture. We have been programmed to consume their religion. We have been programmed to consume their movies. We have been programmed to consume anything white, but us among ourselves. Recently, people have been saying that traveling from one African country to another African country is more difficult than traveling from one African country to an European country. Why so? Because that is the way they have made sure they put us so that we don't develop. That is how they have put us so we don't develop. So I'll read Andrew Tate. Those leaders do the same thing they do in American. Okay, it's the same anywhere. It's the same anywhere. I've realized the political systems which is controlling the world practice the same systems. I've realized if you go to the US, they have their way of also suppressing their own citizens. They are going to invest. The US government is investing, sending weapons to Ukraine, sending weapons to Israel, sending weapons to all these other countries. But when you go deep down, you realize we have a lot of US citizens who are homeless. We have a lot of US citizens who are homeless. That's the same thing happening in Africa. We have hungry people. We have people who can't afford 3 square meal a day, but you will see a government official buying a whole lot of V8. The government will be spending money buying V8, buying cars, spending on things that are not necessary. Instead of them investing in the people, they rather invest on themselves and their friends and family. That is what has been happening. So Andrew Tate again, I'm an ex-US Air Force veteran, biochemical medical researcher and developer. So I think you know what you are talking about. And I'm homeless. Yes, these are the situations we are talking about. These are the situations. The US government is spending huge amount of money on wars. They are spending huge amount of money on wars, but focusing on their citizens is what is really causing the. I don't know. I don't know why we love wars than humanity. I don't know why we love seeing people struggle than humanity, because we were supposed to love each other. We were supposed to, we were supposed to cater for each other. But what we are experiencing in recently, what is happening across the world, what is happening in Palestinian, what is happening in Lebanon, what is happening in UK, has shown that the world don't give a damn about humanity. The world don't give a damn about democracy. The world don't give a damn about freedom of speech. The world don't give a damn about a whole lot of things. It's all about self-interest. It's all about their self-interest. So let's go again. There is Kahungiri Uruka. Sorry if I'm not able to mention your name properly. So Kahungi Uruka, government decisions should be made for the people, with the people, through the people. Yes, in Africa, we are practicing democratic system, but their decisions don't favor the people. Their decisions don't favor the people. Government always make decisions to favor their family and friends. Government make decisions to favor their pocket. In Africa, that is what is happening. So that is why we are always sitting here talking about how puppets these leaders are. Our leaders are puppets. Our leaders are being controlled. Our leaders. So now, when they come to power and they realize that they cannot achieve anything because the throne they are sitting on, they can't do anything about development in the country. They end up stealing. That is why a lot of people are jubilating about what is happening in Mali. A lot of people are jubilating about what is happening in Burkina Faso. A lot of people are jubilating about what is happening in Niger. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants freedom. We want freedom. We want development. So if our democratic system we have been practicing is not bringing us development, if our democratic systems we are practicing are only bringing leaders who are not patriotic to the continent, if our democratic system we are practicing are entertaining only what do we call it? Only leaders who plans is just to borrow money from the Western countries, then there is some issue with the democratic system we are practicing. So let me read about the Arsenal perspective. Remember, a hungry man is an angry man. If the masses are suffering, it will never last forever, because the majority will rise up against such difficulties. That is how it's going to happen. We have seen what happens in Kenya recently. We have witnessed what has happened in Nigeria. We have witnessed what is happening across Africa. And if things continue the same way, I think there are going to be a spike of this kind of situation in other African countries. And I think Ghana is about to go on the polls in December, and a lot of people are really crying for change. A lot of people want change in government. But the problem is the man who they think can let me put it, the man, the opposition, the main opposition leader who is coming back is someone who has been there and couldn't perform and couldn't do anything. So they have been left with two options: the current government and the previous government. It's the same thing. That is what is really eating me up, because someone who couldn't do anything is back coming to convincing people that this time, if you give me the mantle, I can do things differently. We need leaders that are patriots. We need leaders that are willing to help develop these countries. We need leaders that will create jobs. We need leaders that will create, one problem I'm trying to also find out is now African leaders are now the one promoting their citizens to travel outside. People are some African leaders are now putting up policies that will allow their citizens to travel to Canada, to travel to Saudi Arabia to go and work so that they can benefit from the pay that will be paid to their citizens. So when they are coming to power, they don't have any mindset of coming to create jobs and opportunity and business friendly environment for their citizens. They are rather drafting policies to send people outside there. So let me read about some of. So I think Mr. Josh Matt, say facts. Yeah, thank you. Andrew Tate. It was then that I realized. Okay. It was then that I realized that there is no money in the cure. Okay, Africa needs to do what the what? African. Sorry, sorry. Oh, I'm very sorry. Africa. He said, I said, okay, Mr. Josh Matt. He said, this is why I said the youth should get some one out of the youth that will participate in politics and rule as a president. That is true. But what I have realized, what I have realized from where I'm coming from, the youth, some of the youth are even becoming corrupt than the old people we are seeing now. We need patriotic mindset. We need people with patriotic mindset. If you are patriot, if you have the heart for humanity, you are not going to scam all the money that comes to the public's coffers. If you have patriot mindset, we need patriot mindset. We need Pan-African mindset. We need people who are eager to bring ideas that can develop Africa. And we don't even need what do we call it? We don't need a quick development plan. We can draft like 30 years or we can draft like 20 years development plan for us to implement it gradually. And but one thing, as some of the Arsenal perspective said, we need unity. We need unity, especially unity on economic, the strength of what do we call it? Economical unity in Africa. We need to unite on economy. We don't need to make it one country. We just need the economical unity because at the end of the day, I realized they have come up with this after, but I don't think it's really working because it is exactly like the African Union. African Union is not really working hard. So Africa need patriotic leaders. They need visionary leaders because at the end of the day, all this whatever we are experiencing in Africa boils down to leaders, the bad leaders that we are experiencing in this continent. Bad leaders that we are experiencing in this continent. It's very sad. It's very sad. But at the end of the day, we need leaders that will help develop this continent. So let me read about Arsenal perspective. He said that's also something our diasporans in the rest of the world should be be coming back to help the infrastructure and business and social development of our nation. Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate said, I am friends with the president of China, second largest electric vehicle manufacturer, who wants African countries' interest in developing car factories in Africa right now. Wow. Who are not money chasers? Okay, that is really very good initiative if this can come to Africa. And Andrew Tate, you can get in contact through my Uncut Africa Live at gmail.com so that we can, with these ideas, because now a lot of African youth are jobless. A lot of African youth don't have, they will complete universities and they will be just at home working, not working, because at the end of the day, especially Ghana recently, they joined IMF and they have put embargo on employment. Now the government can't even employ a graduate because at the end of the day, that is the situation they have put themselves in. I don't know why they come up with that idea, but most Africans don't even have jobs after they graduate from school. But if you are going to tell the truth, Africa was supposed to be the house, the home of opportunities, because we are not developed yet. So the opportunities that are here are huge. But at the end of the day, most Africans are now running. Most Africans are now running to other European countries. European countries who has rather exhausted they have already exhausted their opportunities because the system has already been built. The system in Europe has already been built. So Africa was supposed to be the continent of opportunities because we haven't developed yet. We have a lot of opportunities. We are only exporting products which we can implement a lot of products in our continent. But rather, our graduates are now running to Europe to go and seek for greener pasture, to go and do manual jobs. When they go, a graduate will travel from Ghana to Europe. And when they go, they are not going to work in companies. They work in manual jobs. They do cleaning jobs. A doctor will be traveling and he will be doing cleaning job. He will be doing janitor jobs. They will be cleaning old people's rooms. They do a whole lot of things that do not make sense. But at the end of the day, they have no option because the leaders are not visionary. The leaders are just puppets. The leaders don't have the vision to put up things. In Africa, people dreams is just to become leaders. They don't care about development. They just dreams to become leaders. So whatever it takes the person to become a leader. You don't care. So Mr. Andrew Tate, I will send you his name. Okay. So you can message me on Uncut Africa Live at gmail.com. Uncut Africa Live at gmail.com. We have a lot to do. There are too much opportunities. In where I am, Ghana, we import matches, we import toothpick, we import a whole lot of things that don't make sense. All this can be manufactured here. All this can be done here, but we end up exporting them. So that has created opportunity. So even though we are struggling to put up things together, we have to also find a way of creating opportunity for ourselves. We can find out all these products that are not produced here, and we can take advantage of these systems. But sometimes you are going to try and do something, and you are going to face challenges. People are going to sabotage you. That is why we need a patriotic leader who is ready to make sure Africa developed. So let me, okay, Mr. Wellen Wang. Okay. So thank you. But Mr. Andrew Tate, if you can send me, if you can email me, I'll be happy. So the Arsenal perspective, what advice would you give to those who are perhaps born outside of Africa, are African by descent and want to return to Africa to help develop the nations and continent? Okay. The advice I can give is get, I don't know which Africa country you want to be in, but before you travel to any African country, make sure you get, if you haven't traveled there before, or if you don't know anybody there, make sure, okay, he said Ghana. So yeah, in Ghana, before you try to set up business or do anything, make sure you come, you visit the country, visit the country first, visit the country first, and after you have visited the country, spend some time here, spend some time here, and do your investigation, do your investigation. Me, if you come and you look for me, I can help you. I can help you to get to the proper channel. If you come, you look for me, I can help you get to the proper channel. Do your own investigation, and after you have spent some time here, that will influence you to take your decision about what business you want to do here or your assignment here. You have to know the environment you are trying to settle, or the environment you are trying to come and help. So when you come, you have to get to the right people. When you come to Ghana, you have to get to the right people. Just don't share your ideas to anyone, or don't just come and try to set up business. Come and do your own investigation. Come and spend some months to monitor the system, monitor how our system is run, so that you can get, it will get you the real view of how Ghana is, for you to implement your decision. That is the perfect advice I can give you. Just come around, come and spend some time here, understand the system, because a lot of people will be traveling to all these African countries, and when they are coming, their perception or their expectations can change, because most of the times a lot of people just be showing all the beautiful, only the beautiful parts in Ghana, the parties they are enjoying, the nightlife, the food, all these things. They do that, and at the end of the day, when they comes, they feel disappointed. So, Mr. Andrew Tate, my focus is hybrid of grid solar electric. That is the perfect. That is the perfect, because currently one of our problem in Africa is stable electricity. Stable electricity. So if you have this plan to come to any African countries, I'm not going to preach to come to Ghana or go to Nigeria or go to Kenya, but choose any African country, go and settle and build your business. Like me in Ghana, my focus is hybrid. The solar grid is one of the best, because at the end of the day, we have a lot of our weather. Our weather is full of sun, but what happens is we can't even, implement policies that can generate electricities. We can't implement politics. We are always going circles. One will come and fix small something small. Other government will come and they will turn things around, and there will be blackout again. So electricity is something that if you focus on in Africa, you are going to succeed. Mr. Kahungire Uruka, yes, there are Africans who studied degree, example, mechanical engineering, can't create a car. IT can create an internet or Wi-Fi. Yeah, okay, sorry, let me take it again. The Africans who studied degree, example, mechanical engineer, can't create a car. IT IT can't create internet or Wi-Fi. How do we grow as Africans? That is the problem with our educational system. We are still using the old curriculum. We are still using the old curriculum, and it's like if we change, they are going to arrest. I don't know why most of Africans' educational systems are not upgrading their curriculum for it to accommodate the modern technology courses that is going around the world. But I think gradually some Africans are also traveling outside there to educate themselves. So in case I think we need me what I have been always preaching is if I think if the government, every African country government is going to sponsor a smart, uh, more of the smart students to go and learn engineering, go and learn IT, go and learn a whole lot of things, and bring them back to the country and sponsor them to implement their knowledge. That will be very necessary. So let me read this comment. CNS, cheap and reliable energy is critical for industrial development. That has to remain the central focus, second only to food abundance. That is true. That is true. Energy source is one of the biggest problems in Africa. When you go to South Africa, they are also facing electricity problems. When you go to Nigeria, they are facing electricity problem. When you come to Ghana, they are facing electricity. Most of African countries face a lot of electricity problem. So energy source, electricity is one of the problems that we are facing, and anyone that come and get himself involved in this situation will be very successful. And when it comes to also food abundance, this is also something that I've been preaching for. Is the way forward of any of this continent is for us to invest in farming. Invest in farming because the weather favors us. We have the landscape. We have everything that can help us get abundance of food. But I don't know what is wrong with us. Our government don't promote agriculture. Our government is interested just to import food. We are importing rice. We are importing tomatoes. We are importing everything that we consume, and that you sit down and you can't even get the sense of what all this import is from, because we can invest in agriculture for us to get abundance of food, but our leaders decide not to think about it. Our leaders decide not to think about it. So let me read Mr. W. You need patriotic Africans who when you need patriotic Africans who, when they get educated with government scholarship abroad, return to uplift the African countries. That is also true. That is also true. And the Arsenal perspective, but it's important of food, a part of loan deals the countries have undertaken from IMF and World Bank. The World Bank and the IMF, they are not really interested in all this our food. They are even pushing for us to rather implement non-consumable crops. Non-consumable crops. All these Western countries, they don't encourage us to produce consumable crops, because the consumable crops is going to make us not rely on them, because at the end of the day, if they give us money to produce yams, if they give us money to produce rice, we are not going to import all these things. So they give us money to put it into cocoa farming. They give us money to put into crops that are not consumable. And that is what has been our problem. That is what have been our problem. I really appreciate all of you for joining me today today. I was how should I put it? Because of I was a little busy, so my plan was not to come live, but I was sitting there and I decided to come here live. So I'll be here again tomorrow for us to discuss about other topics that will benefit the development of Africa or the progressive nature of African continent. Mr. W, produce what you eat and eat what you produce. Exactly, that is the truth. That is the truth. We don't produce what we eat. We produce things that we can only export, and that is what is bringing this continent down. We produce cocoa, we can't consume cocoa. Even we just send in with the cocoa, we just send the beans straight. We don't even process it. We send the beans straight to Switzerland for them to use it to prepare chocolate and a whole lot. And when they bring it here, it's very expensive. It's very expensive. Mr. Andrew Tate, I'm 65 years old this last month. Wow, wow, wow. That means you are a senior citizen. You are a senior citizen, and I understand you perfectly. You have lived to understand the system. You have lived to understand the system. Wow, 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 wow. You are. I didn't know we have senior citizens watching me. I really appreciate you, your effort of supporting me. As I said, anyone who have anything, anything for us to discuss, you can go to my email on uncatafricalive@gmail.com. Uncatafricalive@gmail.com. You can email me for us to discuss about whatever you want to come and do in Africa, whatever you want to come and help build in Africa. I also have a Telegram group where we have started organizing people. Currently, we have over almost 200 members on Telegram. So you can go to some of my videos and click on the Telegram link in my description box. When you click on it, it will take you straight to the Telegram platform. Join us. You can also join us there for us to discuss the well-being of Africa and Africans in diaspora. So help build Wakanda West. Yes, it will come on live. It's necessary. It's necessary that we come together. It's necessary that we come together. We can't always be talking, just be talking, talking, talking. We have to start taking action. We have to start taking action. Are all details on your page? Yes, you can go to my description box. You go to my description, my bio, where my bio is. You go to my profile. You can find my number. You can find my number, my WhatsApp number and my personal number. You can find it there in my description. When you go to my profile, you can find my number and everything there, and my email address. You can find it there. You can contact me for us to discuss about all these situations. I know a lot of people want to relocate to Africa. A lot of people want to relocate to Africa, but they don't know how to start. They don't know anyone who they can rely on and show around when they come. Yeah, when they come. Okay, you say are all details on your page? Yes, it's on my page. Andrew Tate, there is more than enough on this planet for all, but we know what groups are here to subvert the dark man. Yes, that's very true. I didn't hear the start of your answer. I didn't hear the start of your answer. Please, which one? Okay. I was saying that you can go to my profile. When you go to my profile on this channel, you go to my profile and I have all my details there. I have my telephone number there. I have my email address there. So you can WhatsApp me, you can send me email, or you can even call me on WhatsApp, or you can call me direct. My personal number is there. You can call us for us to discuss. Okay, on this channel. Yes, on this channel. I will check it. Okay. Yeah, on this channel, I have all my information, my email address, my personal number there. You can contact me for us to talk about anything you want to come and invest. You invest in Africa. And when you come, I will help you settle. I will show you around. I will introduce you to people that can also help you. We just have to help each other for us to develop this continent. We can't be always talking without any action. And those who also want to join me for us to take to to brainstorm ideas. You can also contact me on my email on catafricalive on gmail.com. It's about time we take action. I'm in Ghana. I'm in Accra to be specific. So anyone who want to visit Accra can get in touch, and when you come, we can do a whole lot of things. And anyone who also want to join, when I come live, if you want to join for us to discuss anything, you can send me email on uncatafricalive@gmail.com. You can send me email so that the next, maybe tomorrow when I'm coming, I can add you for us to be live together. So anyone who wants us to also want to share his opinion on Africa, you can also contact me so that I can add you for us to go live. When we plan to come on live. So Mr. CNS, he said, okay, on this channel. Mr. CNS, yes, there is enough for everyone need, but enough for anyone's greed. That is very true. So I have seen someone, Rashid Sapon. Yes, I've seen you, Rashid Sapon. Good evening, brother Rashid Sapon. I am on your YouTube as okay, Mr. Rashid Sapon. I have seen your message. I've seen your message. With your name, I know. Then it seems you are even a Ghanaian because Sapon is a Ghanaian name. So I know you are a Ghanaian, and it's going to be very good for us to, if you want to relocate back to Ghana, we can do a whole lot of things together. I've seen your WhatsApp message, so I'll get when I finish, I'll reply all your message for us to talk. So anyone who want us to discuss about any topic, you can get in touch. So thanks to you all for joining me today for us to discuss about this topic. I'll be here tomorrow. I have to be here tomorrow for us to talk, to how to tackle another topic. I salute you. So Arsenal, the Arsenal perspective. Now I know you are Mr. Rashid Sapon, so I will get in touch uh, when I end the live. I'm even learning. I'm ending it. So please, I appreciate all of you. I appreciate your support. I appreciate all the support you have been giving to this channel. I'm almost heading to 100,000 subscribers, and it's not easy. So I'll appreciate if you can share my channel for people to join, as we are now going. It's just the beginning. We are now going to go hard on this channel, and we are now going to preach for liberation. We are now going to preach for wake up call, because Africa needs a wake up call. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate everyone who joined me today. Let's meet tomorrow again for us to discuss different topic about Africa and Africans in diaspora. I salute you all. Talk to you tomorrow.